In this video, Mahmoud has compiled political and economic policies from around the world that have actually made countries truly wealthy or extremely poor. Normally, on the Psy Money Monster channel, we don't make videos or touch on anything related to Thai politics, and this video is no different. However, in just 2 days, on February 8th, we'll be exercising our power to, as Thai citizens, cast our votes to elect representatives to govern the country. So, since we're in the final stretch, in case anyone is still deciding which policies are good and which ones are just for show, let's take a look at examples from various countries that I've researched. We'll see which types of policies have led nations to prosperity and progress, and which ones have made people across the entire country poor, down to every last person. Because honestly, the wealth of a country really depends on its leaders. If they do things right, it can make us prosperous for generations. Looking at the alternative perspective, if the leaders are dishonest and corrupt or handle their responsibilities in a poor manner, poverty and ruin can be passed down for generations as well. Support this video with examples of policies that truly make countries rich or poor by scanning this QR code. Or, if you want to support the Sign Money Mutt segment, it's super easy. Just drop a comment to chat, hit like, share, or save it to watch later. And most importantly, what I'd really love for you to do? Subscribe. But for this clip, what I really want you to do most is don't sell your rights, don't sell your vote. Don't let a little bit of money in front of you make you sell out your country to bad people, okay? Now, let's talk about real-life policy examples from around the world, policies that have actually been implemented. Which ones really make countries rich and which ones make them poor? Let me start with policies that have made countries prosperous. A lot of people have commented and asked me, wow, Sai, the global economy is so bad right now. What's going on? Where is the money flowing? Where is it actually doing well? Well, this country has to be mentioned. Singapore. Singapore is a country that's known for its special ability to attract money, especially foreign capital, into the country. Can you believe that in just the first 9 months of 2025, foreign direct investment, or FDI, flowing into Singapore reached as high as $35 billion? And Singapore is just a tiny island with a population of less than 6 million, only about 5.9 million people. Yet it's a country full of ultra-wealthy individuals. And there are more than 240,000 millionaires in Singapore, meaning people whose total assets exceed $1 million, or about 30 million baht. With so many wealthy people coming into Singapore, a lot of money ends up being concentrated there as well. Just in 2024 alone, the capital that came along with the millionaires who migrated to Singapore in a single year reached a total of $150 billion, which officially makes Singapore the nation with the number 9 highest GDP per capita in the world. Pretty rich, right? And what about the cars? Even though Singapore used to be a country where 75% of the land was slums, with absolutely no natural resources, there was even a time when they didn't even have water, you know? But today, Singapore has become a financial hub, a strategic trading point for the world. So how did Singapore manage to attract such a large and continuous flow of foreign capital into the country? We really have to go back and thank the person who built Singapore, former Prime Minister Lee Kuan Yew. He built Singapore based on 5 fundamental economic principles, following the advice of a Dutch economist named Albert Winsemius. First, keep taxes low. Singapore doesn't have a capital gains tax, so if you come in, sell assets, and make a profit, you don't have to share it with the government. There's also no inheritance tax, no matter how much money you have, whether it's billions or tens of billions of dollars. You can pass your wealth onto your heirs without having to give any to the government. The only tax is a flat corporate tax rate of 17%, which is very low compared to other developed economies. Second, Singapore is considered a country with no corruption, or if there is any, it's extremely minimal. According to International Transparency, Singapore is ranked as the 5th most transparent country in the world. That's because former Prime Minister Lee Kuan Yew once said that no one is above the law. and there are no exceptions. Because even making an exception just once will lead others to do the same. He believed that corruption is an obstacle. The worst obstacle to a country's progress. Number 3 is that Singapore is a country that maintains stability. Its politics are steady, and Singapore can plan its economy decades in advance. That's exactly what billionaires want, because they want to invest their money, move themselves, their homes, and their companies there. It's all about the long term. So they want long-term stability. The laws don't suddenly change, and industries or anything else won't just disappear overnight, right? Or the tax regulations, they won't suddenly change either. Recently, right? Number 4, Singapore is extremely strict about cleanliness. The fines can range from hundreds to thousands, even up to tens of thousands of Singapore dollars. That's because cleanliness and greenery in public spaces are like a universal language that Singapore uses to tell the world that this place is developed. Number 5 is world-class education. Whether it's school, the education system, and many of the most prestigious world-class universities are located in Singapore in order to develop Singaporeans into exceptionally well-trained and skilled workers who can meet the specific needs of foreign investment companies that want to establish their regional operations in Singapore. With these 5 foundations in place, that's exactly why Singapore has been so incredibly successful in attracting both major corporate investment and global billionaires. They come to invest and live in Singapore. But if you ask whether, with all this money coming into Singapore, the locals are living well and comfortably, well, maybe not quite yet. But I'm not going to get into that in this video. If you want to hear more, I'll make a Singapore trilogy, so stay tuned and hit subscribe. But anyway, the bottom line is that Singapore is rich. Now, moving on to another country with a leader that's honestly enviable, India. It's another rising star in Asia. Personally, the thing that I admire the most about India's leadership is the visionary way Prime Minister Narendra Modi thinks. Modi consistently and firmly puts the country's interests first, almost without caring about anyone else's opinion. I still remember when the United States issued a strict directive to all its allies to sanction Russian oil, to stop buying Russian oil immediately. Do you know how India responded to America in that very bold move? So when asked, hey, should India sanction Russian oil? Can India stop buying it? Prime Minister Modi basically responded to the United States like this. How can we stop buying Russian oil when the economy isn't doing so well right now? Russian oil is cheap and it's good for India's economy. So we have to put the interests of our own people first. And it turned out India really meant what it said. After that, they didn't sanction Russian oil. They kept buying it and bought a lot of it too. Not only did India buy the oil, but they also resold it to Europe for a profit. If you look at this graph, when the US told India to sanction Russian oil, India didn't do it. In fact, the following year, India increased its purchases of Russian oil by 538%. And they didn't forget to ask Russia for a discount either. Russia was able to sell so much more oil to India at that time because Europe agreed to follow the US and stopped buying Russian oil altogether. The fact that Europe stopped buying Russian oil, especially Germany, was actually one of the main reasons Germany became known as the sick man of Europe. There are more details about this in other videos. Or, for example, in the latest news, has anyone seen the video about China's giant dam? China is building a massive dam upstream from India. India didn't hesitate. They boldly demanded that China explain exactly how this dam wouldn't affect them. India told China to clarify how the construction would proceed. India dared to speak up and ask for clarification about every detail. So how is India's economy doing right now? India is really booming. Just look at the Indian stock market. It's surging continuously. Some people even say it's rising so fast it's scary, and they're worried about getting stuck at the peak. Honestly, whether the Indian stock market will crash or not, I really don't know. But what I do know is that right now, global banks like JP Morgan, Citigroup, Goldman Sachs, and Morgan Stanley are all scrambling to get a foothold on the market. There's a huge rush into the Indian stock market. DSI even made a video about it for you to check out. As for the reasons behind India's current prosperity, it's undeniable that first, they have a massive population. What's more, most of the population is young. And most importantly, not only is the population large and young, but they're also a highly skilled workforce because India places a strong emphasis on education. A lot, actually. Plus, they've been prioritizing educational infrastructure for a long time now. Let's move on to another prosperous country nearby, Vietnam, right next door. People often say, wow, why do these big manufacturers choose Vietnam over Thailand? And honestly, that's both true and kind of a shame, because when these giant companies decide where to set up their production base, it's not like they just throw in a bunch of money all at once and that's it. It's a long-term investment, whether it's capital, operational costs, or whatever else. They're creating long-term jobs, at least 20 or 30 years. And now, if you're wondering exactly why, when it comes to a serious long-term business investment, Vietnam is the top choice, the very first thing you should do is just think about it simply. If you're a business owner planning to set up a factory in a new location and stay there for the long haul, would you really want to invest for 20 years in a country where the government can't even seem to last for 4 months? Would ya? No, right? It turns out that when a government can't even finish its term, or only lasts a short while, or can't pass on policies effectively, you just can't predict anything long term. You have no idea what rules, laws, or taxes might change. But Vietnam, on the other hand, has much more political stability. They have economic plans set out for the next 40 years. Do you know about Doi Moi? Since 1986, back then, Vietnam's economy was in shambles, with inflation at 600 to 700%. Vietnamese people had nothing back then. At that time, Vietnam was even poorer than our country. But the Vietnamese government was serious about it. They worked hard to make their politics stable and to be able to plan their economy 10 or 20 years ahead. The government decided to focus on FDI, foreign direct investment, as the engine to drive and grow the country's economy. That's why Vietnam set up every system to make things as convenient as possible for FDI into the country. That includes education. Yes, education again. They designed it specifically to create a highly skilled workforce that matches exactly what foreign investment companies are looking for, especially in fields like science and technology. Vietnam has hundreds of thousands of graduates in these fields every year. Wages are also important. Sure, high wages can be good, but sometimes high wages aren't always a good thing, because when wages are high, it can higher costs, which makes foreign investors choose like, hey, Vietnam's minimum wage is lower, so it's more budget friendly, let's invest in Vietnam instead. All in all, whether it's the economy, technology, education, or even Vietnam's agricultural products, you can hardly say they're inferior to Thailand anymore. The Vietnamese stock market is also about to be upgraded from a frontier market to an emerging market. And by the way, Thailand is already in the emerging market category. Want to look at public debt? Vietnam's public debt has been decreasing every year, all the way up to 2025. Vietnam's public debt is at 31.95% of GDP, which is very low. Compare that to Thailand. Thailand's public debt is at 68%, more than double Vietnam's. Or take a country that's like super rich. This one's a bit of a stretch, but let's talk about entertainment complexes like Monaco. Monaco is a country with an area of just 2 square kilometers and a population of about 40,000 people. Its GDP per capita, or average annual income per person, is around 8 million baht per year. So what makes this country so rich? Some people would immediately say it's because of the Monte-Carlo casino. And yes, you could say it's in the same category as an entertainment complex. But actually, Monaco isn't that wealthy just because of Monte-Carlo. The income from the casino? In Monaco, the casino only accounts for about 3% of the GDP. The real reason the country is so wealthy is because of its tax policies. That's their main source of income. Specifically, they use a VAT system, taxing everyone who buys goods, but they don't collect personal income tax at all. In other words, people who work there don't pay income tax. And don't forget, Monaco only has about 40,000 people, so if they were to collect personal income tax, it's not a lot. That's why Monaco decided to tax everyone who visits the country instead. They tax everyone who comes to shop. Visitors don't work there. They come to buy things, so they collect VAT. The VAT rate in Monaco is about 20%. Is that expensive? Yes, it's very expensive. But this method of collecting tax through VAT works extremely well for Monaco because the whole country is wealthy. But collecting taxes through VAT doesn't work for every country. If a country has a lot of class inequality, meaning there's a big gap in income, charging VAT can really hurt low-income people. That's because VAT is the same for everyone. Everyone gets taxed 20% equally. If someone earns millions of dollars, that 20% VAT is just a small portion of their income. But if someone is from a poor family and only makes about $100,000 a year, that 20% VAT, that percentage ends up being a huge burden for them, right? So we really have to give Monaco credit for how their government chose a tax system that fits the financial situation of their people. There are some countries where collecting VAT doesn't work out well, like China. China also has a heavy VAT, but it doesn't work well there because not everyone in China earns a lot of money. That's why, right now, people in China aren't really buying much. So, in summary, if a government really pays attention to what suits its people and chooses the right approach, like how Monaco decided to collect taxes through VAT, then that's a win. All right, now let's look at countries whose political and financial policies have led to serious poverty and total collapse in every nook and cranny. I want you to get familiar with this pattern first, because it's a classic pattern of financial disaster that's happened in many countries, big or small. Here's the pattern. If you look at the government budget of such a country, it will always be running a deficit, and not just once, but continuously. And when the government budget is in deficit, the government of that country tries to fix the problem by simply printing more money. However much the deficit is, they just print that much money to cover it, printing and printing until inflation goes through the roof. When inflation gets really bad, the country's currency loses its value. Because the currency is worthless, all the money you've worked so hard to earn is suddenly worth less than a roll of toilet paper. It's completely worthless. That's why I say, if the government is incompetent, it leads to total disaster. It's a total collapse. For example, let's look at a recent case where things got really intense. People took to the streets and violence broke out all over the country. In Iran, people are protesting because they're so poor they can't even afford to eat. It's gotten really bad because inflation is out of control. Now, if you ask about Iran, honestly, it's a country with a lot of oil resources. They should be rich. But Iran isn't rich, and that's because of the government's policies, once again. From the very beginning, Iran started a nuclear program and refused to let anyone inspect it. So the United States imposed sanctions and pressured its allies not to buy Iranian oil. Back then, everyone, Europe, Japan, South Korea, and so on, banded together and stopped buying oil from Iran. So even though Iran had oil, they couldn't sell it, and the government's budget went into a long-term deficit. And what was the Iranian government solution? The classic move, just print more money. They just kept printing money whenever they needed it. On top of that, they introduced welfare policies to win over the public and get more votes. Eventually, the value of the Iranian rial, which used to be 70 rials to $1, has now skyrocketed to 1,470,000 rials to $1. With the currency basically worthless, it's made everyone equally poor. Plus, all the violence created loopholes for foreign countries to interfere as well. When a government can't manage its budget and keeps printing money, leading to inflation and currency devaluation, where else has this happened? There are so many examples, too many to name. Take Venezuela, for instance. The bolivar was devastated. Inflation there once hit millions of percent annually. Zimbabwe did it too. The government lost its revenue, and then inflation skyrocketed to several billion percent. Zimbabwe is the country that once had banknotes worth $100 trillion. Lebanon, same story. They spent beyond their means, the Lebanese lira collapsed, the currency crashed, and the people became poor. Argentina, I've made a video about this before. They handed out so much money that the country went bankrupt. The Argentine government gave out money through welfare programs. They kept doing this over and over again across many administrations just to maintain their voter base, to buy votes, basically. But the money they handed out, just giving out welfare for the sake of it, didn't create any real economic value. That's why the government budget kept running deficits, one after another. So what did the government do to fix it? They printed more money, thinking it would help. As a result, the Argentine peso kept getting weaker and weaker. So who ended up suffering the most? Argentines holding pesos suffer most. Has this happened in bigger countries? Like Japan. The yen's plummeted lately. When we visit, we're like, wow, everything's so cheap. And this is why. Japan's been printing money too. As for the US, their national debt is astronomical, $38 trillion. I don't know how they'll pay it back, and they just keep borrowing. Now they'll have to pay even higher interest because now it seems like people aren't really interested in buying American debt anymore. If you look at the US balance sheet, it's the same pattern, budget deficits. The government has been running chronic deficits for a long time. Did they print money? Oh, absolutely, especially during COVID. You can see it clearly in the M2 money supply graph. If M2 goes up, that means they're printing money. But is the US in trouble? The dollar has weakened a lot too, dropped significantly. But for the US, it's not a big deal right now, even though the dollar is weak. But let me talk a bit more about the dollar. The dollar has gotten so weak, right? That's why other assets seem more expensive now. But in reality, a bar of gold is still just a bar of gold. It hasn't actually gotten more expensive. It's the currency that's lost value. Have you noticed that assets seem pricier, but the people holding them aren't actually richer? On average, our quality of life hasn't improved. So is it related to the fact that it's because the American people choose certain leaders to run the country? That definitely plays a part, but really, no matter what happens at the national level, whether it's political, economic, or financial policy, once the leaders make those decisions, in the end, ordinary people like us, like me, like you, like everyone, do we really have any power to scream or demand like, hey, don't do that? In the end, we can't really do anything about it anyway. We don't really have any actual authority or real power to do anything at all right now, except for the major opportunity that's coming up on the second day of August in the year 2569. That is when all eligible Thai citizens aged 18 and over will finally have the power back in their own hands, being able to use a simple pen to choose the representatives who will oversee and take care of the future of our country. Honestly, even though I think, just like everyone else, that even if we pick someone we believe is good, whose policies seem solid, we can never really know if things will actually turn out that way once they're in office. We don't know if they'll really make Thailand better. But what we do know is that right now, the economy's bad. It's not doing well at all. Let's not make things worse by choosing people who just want to shove dirty money into our hands. For you, even before they've actually ever stepped inside the halls of Parliament. Isn't that right?